It's time for the show that brings the magic right to your speakers. Ears up!
Hey everybody, welcome to the show, Ears Up Podcast, coming at you live. And we have a good show. We have a great show for you.
Yeah.
It's a show a long time in the making. We're going to be talking to Kirsten from the Walt Disney Family Museum, the executive director, I believe is her full title.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, I was reading her bio. She's way overqualified to be talking to us. She's like a violinist and a lawyer and been on the boards of all sorts of stuff. And it's just like, well, hey, we're just this doofy podcast.
Right.
What are we going to talk about? But let's talk about your chicken sandwich because it was really good, and that's all I'm interested in.
It was delicious.
It was pretty good, right? It was like a French onion chicken sando.
Yeah, it was good.
It was tight. Yeah, it was pretty good. But yeah, anyway, thank you all for joining us today. We do have a lot of stuff to kind of catch up. We're going to obviously talk to Kirsten. We're going to talk about Disney news. You all right, Biv?
I'm fine.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like exasperated because you screwed something up, and I was going to yell at you.
Well, my computer started talking, but I hit mute really fast.
Okay, fair enough.
So I think you missed it. I think the expiration, exasperation.
Yeah.
I think it was just my computer you just heard.
The expiration.
That too. I expired.
I do want to tell you guys, speaking of expiring, guess who's going to Star Wars Land, boys?
Oh, dear heavens.
Who?
Me.
Oh.
I got reservations this morning, Friday, May 31st, opening day, Star Wars Land. Your boy in there.
Have fun.
2 to 6, baby. Let's go. 2
Honestly,
to 6.
like I'm so excited to hear.
But not to go.
Let me put emphasis on to hear.
Yeah.
But, like I want to know I want to know all your takeaways from it. Like
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Oh, you'll get them, for sure.
Well, because May 31st is actually Jack's birthday, and he's been begging for us to go to Disneyland for his birthday. It's like, no, not happening. That's just no.
Yeah, so look, and I understand 150,000% that it's going to be a nightmare. So I think we'll go down on Thursday. We have passes, so it's not that big of a deal. And my just intent is just to go to the park for that 4-hour window, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hang out in the park, so I don't really care how busy it is. It could be packed.
You should do a circle
don't really care.
through though, just to see like crowd control and see how things are going.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably do that.
Just for information. So.
Yeah. My hope is to do some kind of maybe do a little video on myself and just kind of cut it together that night in the hotel room real fast and just kind of post it. But I'm excited about it. I feel like we had to go for the show. And I know on the last show I told you that we're probably not going to be able to go because it's just so expensive.
Right.
But we're not staying at the Disneyland Hotel or anything like that, so it'll be fine.
Oh, you're not?
No. So today they opened it up to just kind of whoever.
Yeah.
So I'm like sitting there on the web page, and it's like, do not refresh this page.
That was going to be my
Do
next
this
question.
thing. Yeah. And then 10 o'clock happened, and nothing happened. And 10:05 happened, and then nothing happened. And then 10:10, and then nothing happened. I'm like, what is going on? It's 10:15, and nothing. And I'm like, this is just weird, but I'm going to just trust the system. So
that's hard for you.
it's really hard for me. Yeah. And so I have to put Alice down about 10 o'clock, depending on when she wakes up. But so she's already like 15 minutes past her bedtime. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So I carry her in one hand, and I have the laptop in the other. And I put the laptop on her dresser, and I'm like holding her in her sleep position, which is face down for some reason. She's a weird baby. And I'm like singing to her, and then suddenly the page refreshes. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like typing with one hand and holding her with the other. And I get in there, and I was like, all right.
You're officially a dad.
Oh, snap.
Getting your stuff done while trying to put your kid to bed. You're officially
That's
a dad.
right, baby.
Congrats, bro.
I was talking to Brittany, though, before, and she's mad at me because I didn't add her. She's like, add me and Maddie and I guess Maddie's boyfriend or whatever, and I thought she was just joking.
Right.
And then she got like highly offended that I didn't do it. I'm like, I was just kidding. I thought you were kidding. Really? Yeah, I don't know, man. What are you going to do? But anyway, I'm going to be there. Taryn will be there. You know who won't be there? Brittany.
Brittany, Maddie,
you
and her
suck,
man.
dude.
Yeah, but it's all right. I'm excited. I'm excited, everybody. So, if you guys are going Friday, 2 to 6. That's our time frame. Let's hang out. Let's take a ride or two.
So you know
Let's
what
build
I'm
a lightsaber.
very
Not pay
curious
for it.
about
What?
is the line, the security line. Since you're not staying at a Disneyland hotel. That was why I was going to ask you where you were staying.
You're not recording
What's
the show.
wrong?
I'm not recording. I didn't
Son
push
of a monkey.
record. I did, but I
You're
didn't check it.
Fired.
Okay.
God
Do we
bless.
start again, or can you pull the audio?
Well, I
from
think I
YouTube?
can pull the audio. So
Okay.
you know what? I'm just gonna try pulling the audio. I don't want to start over again. You know what I mean?
Okay, I agree. We had some good stuff.
We had some good riffs. Why aren't you recording?
Is it still not recording?
There we go. All right, I'm recording now, everybody.
Nailed it.
See, so I can pull the audio, and I'm also have a double backup on that machine that it's recording, and I got the stream, so I'm fine. We'll be all right.
We're fine.
It'll be all right. So, look, if you're listening and there's a very marked drop in quality or increase in quality from now on versus what it was, now you know why.
Fair enough.
Yeah. This episode is sponsored, of course, by Getaway Today, Disney's top wholesale partner. They'll help you plan your Disneyland vacation with the best tips and secrets, all while making it affordable with their discounted tickets, reduced hotel rates, and layaway plan. Head over to getawaytoday.com/earsup and start planning your magical vacation. Tell them Ears Up sent you and use code EarsUp to save an extra $10 on your SoCal vacation package. Like I said, today on Ears Up, we welcome Kirsten Komoroske, who is the executive director of the Walt Disney Family Museum in San Francisco. And like I said, I'm very excited to speak with her because that museum is awesome. It's an amazing tribute to Walt and his family life. And it seems honestly like almost an impossible thing to run.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, it is, man. Terrence and I went there with Nick, our friend Nick Goulon, and Brittany, of course, crashed our party, our bro party. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I wanted Terrence to look exasperated at me,
And I did.
And you pulled it off.
Nailed it.
Because we shot a little video of it. Nick is a very accomplished, filmmaker, I suppose you can call it. And he makes a lot of YouTube videos, and so he's going to put one together for us about our trip to the Walt Disney Family Museum. So look for that here in the coming weeks. I know he's super busy. I just talked to him today, actually, before the show, and he's like, I'm working 60-hour weeks.
Oh.
I have not had a chance to even start this thing, and he's recording his own music, and he's doing stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Yeah,
it'll be coming out.
I imagine it's very rough to be super talented.
I wouldn't know.
And yeah, same.
I'm really good at starting projects and going, who can I get to do this? Who can I get to finish this?
He just needs to learn to delegate.
That's right. Yeah. Delegate your own music to somebody else.
Exactly.
We have a new sponsor on the show. Welcome, everybody. The Magic Candle Company. Go to magiccandlecompany.com/discount/earsup, and you will get 15% off of your order.
Nice.
That's a big discount anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Right? But I'm checking out their website now.
I am too.
They have a lot of good stuff, man. And at first I thought, well, like the name says, candles, right? I thought it was just like candles, scented candles about, like theme park based candles or whatever. Vacation inspired scents is their kind of like theme, right?
I'm literally about to make an order.
Dude, they have bath bombs.
Mm-hmm.
They have essential oils. They have diffusers. They have obviously candles, and the candles they have the wooden wicks, which I love. Like we
Yes,
go to
I agree.
Home Goods because I'm that kind of guy, and we try to like during Halloween, during the fall, they have spiced pumpkin or Mexican pumpkin candles with the wood wicks. Those are the best because they kind of crackle.
Yeah.
They have this, so it's not just candles. Check it out, and they have a churro scent. They have one called Haunted. So they're very much themed around your favorite locations in different vacation spots.
Flying over orange groves
Gee,
is
right?
literally about to be purchased tonight.
Oh, damn. Make sure you go to
I'm doing it right now.
magiccandlecompany.com/discount/earsup. Or if you don't want to remember that, just use code EarsUp at checkout. I believe it's all caps. I don't know if it matters or not.
I'll check it out and let you know.
They also have, I almost said subscription boxes.
Oh, nice.
What?
Yeah.
You know that's my jam.
Are you like a subscription girl?
I have like 5 subscription boxes that I receive.
Oh, man.
Most of them are makeup centric.
Car air fresheners.
Car air
Happening.
fresheners, bro. Are you serious?
Happening.
Churro car air fresheners.
Bro, I would never leave my car.
Wax melts. fragrances, warmers, all this
Wax
kind of
melts?
stuff, man. Yeah.
I have 2 warmers that sit desolate because I never buy wax refills.
Well, check them out. Anyway, they're a new sponsor, so check them out. Be sure to use either the URL I described or our code, because it's the only way they're going to know that we sent you. So we get credit for the purchase, and they keep on, and they keep giving you 15%. Yeah.
They have a little Tiki Man wax
Oh, really?
melter.
Oh, that's tight, dude.
Wax melter. What are they called?
I don't know.
I don't know, but you should buy it.
Okay.
There's one. I'm sorry. I know we're going on and
I'm like
on about
stupidly
this.
excited about this.
I don't know. I mean, these are all for, very popular vacation spots.
Right,
and they
right,
have
right.
one called Walt's Office. And I don't know who it's about.
I don't know who it's about either. I love it. Well, anyway, yeah, check them out. MagicCandleCompany.com/discount/earsup, bringing the vacation to you. So I like that. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. Any feedback on the show goes to Taryn at earsup-podcast.com. Any show suggestions, that's Terrence. You can say hi to Bev, and anything else comes to me, Jason, earsup-podcast.com. I know we have feedback, actually. Let's see if I have time to read it. Feedback. I know we got one. I sent it to Taryn, but Taryn's here. She's just dealing with Alice, man. She's teething again, and it's just this whole thing. So Taryn will be joining us shortly, I'm sure. Where is it? Is it here? No, it's not. I sent it to Taryn. Well, anyway, we'll do feedback later.
Okay.
We'll do feedback at a later date. Let Taryn come in and do her job, because I definitely can't do it. If you want to support the show, definitely hit our sponsors up. That's first and foremost. Go over to Etsy.com/Covears. Buy some of our great shirts and merch. Go to Patreon.com/EarsUp. Sign up to become a Patreon supporter. There's a lot of cool stuff happening over there. We really need your support on Patreon. You guys are the ones who are really keeping the lights on here, so I really, really appreciate it. And more importantly, spread the word. Tell your friends, tell your family. Get on Reddit, whatever the kids are doing. Get on... whatever it is. I don't know. Bev's clutching at her pearls. She's shocked. What's going on?
I just found a butterbeer scented.
Oh, yeah. Right. Any kind of internet shopping, if you do it, use our Amazon link on our homepage. All right, I'm going to call Kirsten right now, and then while I do that, I'm going to tell you guys. Oops, I'm not going to do that. Hang on. Okay, I think we're done with our intro stuff. Before we get to Kirsten, the 21st Amendment has been serving craft beer in the San Francisco Bay Area for 19 years. From their initial brew pub on 2nd Street, just 2 blocks from Giant Stadium in San Francisco, to the production brewery and tap room across the bay in San Leandro, the 21st Amendment is now available in 29 states, including in and around the parks. Next time you're in San Francisco, visit their brew pub and shoot over to neighboring San Leandro to check out their new production brewery and tap room for great beers and good food. And be sure to ask for the 21st Amendment wherever you find good craft beer. I had some of their new Spark Ale,
very good,
which is like a cider beer kind of rosé hybrid thing. Mm-hmm. Super drinkable. Yeah, it's like 5.5 or 5.2%. So that's the summer beer.
Yeah, it is. It's my new lawnmower beer. Except for the fact I don't mow my own lawn.
I like to drink this beer while I watch hired people mow my lawn for me. I think it'll be a good thing. All right, we're going to get Kirsten here on the phone real quick. Komoroske. I think that's accurate. Don't worry, I'll cut this lull out. Is it ringing?
I don't hear you.
Hey, Kirsten, are you there?
Hello?
Kirsten.
I am.
Hey, this is Jason at Ears Up. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me.
Of course. We love the museum. We love everything about it. And this show has taken a couple months to get together because of everybody's schedules, but I'm glad it's happening finally. We have a lot of questions, so I hope you're ready to talk about the Walt Disney Family Museum with us. It'll be a very good time.
I absolutely am. Yes, thank you.
Can you do me a favor? Just explain to me what your role is at the museum. What does an executive director actually do?
So executive director is the leader of a nonprofit organization. Typically, it's the equivalent of a CEO in a for-profit corporation. And so just, responsible for oversight of the museum operations, financial, actually the programming, educational efforts, and I'm also a member of the board of directors, which when I got there was all family, and now it's still mostly family, but we have one new member who is not a family member, but it's really special to be able to work with the Walt Disney family and get guidance and leadership from them.
Wow, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
What about the history of the museum? How did that come to fruition, if you will?
Yeah, so Diane Disney Miller, Walt's elder daughter, she founded the museum along with the support of her family, and she was intimately involved with the Walt Disney Concert Hall down in Los Angeles. She was responsible for the design, construction, and funding, along with her mother, of that. And when she got done with that, she devoted herself to creating an institution to honor her father's legacy and to inspire people by his story, because he's got such an inspirational story, and he went through so many difficult times, challenges, and I think most people are only aware of his successes, but she wanted to share the message of his complete life story, which was full of ups and downs, so that people could reach inside themselves, find that creative part of themselves, and persevere through difficult times to change the world.
Yeah, and that definitely that message does come across in the galleries. Walking through that, it is very much, Walt in a technical sense or in a very defined sense, but it's also the museum does a really good job in capturing Walt's. I don't want to say spirit, because that might be kind of too much of a trope, but it does a good job in sort of bringing you into his mind, and get you to think about what he's thinking at the moment of this time that he's going through, right? Like during the war, or like planning Mickey, or planning the different movies or whatever. You guys do a phenomenal job in putting us kind of in his shoes to figure out behind, we can go through all day and read books on Walt and what happened, but the motivation isn't there. And I think in the museum, you definitely get a feel for that. And
it's truly immersive. It's the other thing as well. I mean, that's what I liked the most about it. Going into it, I was thinking that it was just going to strictly be a museum, but then you get to where you're watching videos, or where you're actually creating the music that they would use for like the sound effects on it. So it was extremely immersive as well. I think that was something that was captivating, but it actually drew you in a little bit more as well.
Yeah, and Diane was struggled with whether to call it a museum or not, because you're right, it's not a typical museum experience. It's very active and immersive, like you were saying, and there were 200 monitors in the museum, and Diane had the idea to use Walt's own voice to take you through his own story. He had commissioned Pete Martin to interview him. There's over 20 hours of audio tape of Walt talking about his life and his family, his work. And so she had that edited so that he takes you through his own journey throughout the museum, which is just a fascinating experience. But it's also Diane's story of her father. So you have this sort of autobiography, parallel paths through the museum that it's a very rich experience. And it's a single subject museum, but it's an actual family member who designed, developed, involved in the construction. And so unlike some other single subject museums where it's based on history, this is an actual daughter a devoted daughter who wanted to honor her father's legacy and tell his story. So it really is an amazing approach to this kind of establishment of an institution.
It really is. And, maybe you can answer, maybe you can't, but how do you determine the storyline of Walt and blend the man versus the conflict, right? Because you do showcase some conflict with him and inner family stuff, like with Roy and whatever. There is that vibe there, and you guys get that across without being too much of, too negative or too, I don't know, casting anybody in a bad light. There's very much the sense of, in the creative process, there's ups and downs, and nobody's going to really agree with one another. But you kind of just persevere, and under the direction of Walt, everything kind of happened. How do you make those choices of, hey, this was kind of a low point, let's put this in the museum, versus just keeping it positive all the time, which everybody knows that's not anybody's real life, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's really perceptive of you. But Diane was a truth teller. She wanted to tell the true story of her father with, all the tough times, the good times, but, also the very challenging times. And so there had been some untruths and myths that had popped up about her father, and she wanted to disabuse the public of those myths. But at the same time, she was very willing to tell the truth about her father's life. So that's why, as you pointed out, there are parts of the museum where, he went through some struggles and some really down periods of his life. But that was her point, that he never gave up. And he picked himself up, he brushed himself off, and he did the next great, amazing thing that everybody said couldn't be done.
Yeah.
And it really is inspiring.
Okay, so let's ask a question that a lot of people might be wondering. Why San Francisco? What was the connection? Was it a matter of was it something that Walt had a connection with in the past? Was it a matter of his daughter wanting it here because this is close to the location where she lived? What's the reason for the location of the museum?
Yeah, it's the latter. So she and her family settled in Northern California after Ron, her husband, left the Walt Disney Company, and they established Silverado Vineyards in Napa, and also had a presence in San Francisco. And Diane wanted to be intimately involved with the design and construction of the museum, but she also thought that her father would have really liked the location. It's in the city of San Francisco, a former military base. Mm-hmm. And as you know, Walt was a big patriot. Was very involved. He, was in World War I in the Red Cross Ambulance Corps right after it ended. But he's also, the troops came onto the lot during World War II, and he designed all of his insignia for the troops and all the films that he made during World War II. So she thought that he would really have liked the location there, and also that the way this area has developed with such innovation in Silicon Valley, but also with Pixar here and other really innovative companies and think tanks. She thought that he would have liked the location up here north.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's, I guess, why we're here. So let's talk a little about some of the artifacts. You have some, exquisite pieces, I guess, if I could just pretend to know what I'm talking about. But a lot of cool stuff. How do you get the artifacts that you have currently? You have in the lobby, you have awards all over the place. You have, vintage Mickey Mouse artifacts and Donald Duck and all this other kind of stuff. You have obviously the photos, props, all this kind of stuff. Yeah. How do you acquire all these pieces for the museum?
The family had some of the key pieces, the Oscars, the awards, the Lily Bell train. Some of those that the family had, and Diane's original idea for the museum was something much smaller, just like Walt's original idea for Disneyland was the 16-acre Mickey Mouse Park. But when she saw what she had, it turned into something much bigger. And so then she landed on the idea to have a large-scale museum. She went about acquiring a lot of what you see in the museum and what you don't see. We have a huge collection over 30,000 objects, and only about 10% are on display. So, but it was important to her to acquire the artifacts, the art, and create this robust collection so that she could rotate the art out, and she could put on special exhibitions. And some of it's really for educational purposes, too. It's too fragile, perhaps, to display. But she did a fantastic job of creating a remarkable collection.
Yeah. So only about 10% of your total artifacts are actually on display. Did I hear that right?
Right.
Wow. What happens to the other, what's the math, 90%, Terrence?
Yes, 90%.
Yeah. Where's the other 90?
She has a law degree. We should
You could pretend.
Well, hey, man, look, it's fun. It's endearing. Where's all the other artifacts? Where are they stored?
Well, yeah, there's another building in addition to the main museum that has we have a collections facility in another building. So a lot of it is housed there, and then we have some off-site storage for some larger objects. But it's all very meticulously stored in museum conditions. But there's a separate building. And in that separate building, there's also a special exhibition space, which is where, when Mickey Mouse opens on May 16th, that will be in this other building. It's a 3,500 square foot exhibition space. And that building was a former gymnasium for the troops. And so it's another gorgeous, beautiful building. And the exhibition space is also, it's got a wonderful feel to it, spirit to it. And so that's where we do our major exhibition every year from May to January.
Okay. I've yet to make it to an exhibition, but I will be there on the 15th for the Mickey Mouse exhibition. I'm very excited to attend that. Can you give us a little teaser on what's going on with that?
Yeah. So it's really the story of Mickey Mouse from his origin, his rise to fame, and his impact, his global impact. He really is an enigma, how he's captured so many hearts and minds. And so it's curated by Andreas Deja, who's the modern hand of Mickey Mouse and just a fabulous animator, probably one of the best in the world right now, and a tremendous person. He's part of our advisory committee at the museum, and we actually did an exhibition of his work not too long ago, just absolutely breathtaking work. But we'll have a lot of art and merchandise. We have some contemporary art, Wayne Thiebaud, Andy Warhol, Damien Hirst. There'll be just an array of gorgeous art, and then information about Mickey Mouse, and also some interactive opportunities, educational opportunities to draw Mickey Mouse and participate in other ways. We'll also have animation table. We'll have animators rotate in and out, and so people can see how animation is actually created.
I love it. That is the I don't want to say it sets you apart, because it's not the only thing, but that is one of the things I think that sets the Walt Disney Family Museum apart from just a normal everyday run-of-the-mill museum. Mm-hmm. It's these kinds of exhibitions, and they're interactive. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I don't know of other places that are doing stuff like this. It's almost like going to the park.
Yeah.
And being kind of involved in that. And you guys offer classes on like 2D, 3D animation, viewings of movies all the time, talks. It's if you're a Disney fan and you're in the Bay Area, or if you're just visiting, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Disney meets like the planetarium.
Yeah. Or like the Exploratorium or something like that, right?
The Exploratorium.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the store.
Oh my God!
My goodness gracious, that store is amazing.
Kirsten, we've talked about the store, I think, ad nauseum already on this podcast for the last 3 shows, because it's great. The prices are good. You guys have a lot of really good stuff. If you're into history, They have a lot of books. They have a lot of the Golden Book. They have a whole bunch of stuff.
Walt's People, man. I got Walt's People episode. I think volume 6. I'm going through it right now.
Oh yeah.
This is I could have walked away with everything.
Oh,
in
for
that
sure.
Store. That store was amazing,
100%.
and the prices were not terrible by any means. But I also realized that my couch isn't very comfortable, and so I didn't want to get in trouble when I got home. So I had to take it down. So I got something for my wife and a couple of things for me, and then we were good.
There we go. Yeah. You're a good man, Terrence. What is your partnership with the Walt Disney Company like? I'm assuming that you guys have a partnership because you're using, a lot of the Mickey Mouse and copyright stuff. How does that shake out?
Yeah, the company's been absolutely wonderful to us. So we're not officially affiliated with them, but they generously loan us artifacts, and they have participated in past exhibitions. They're just wonderfully supportive. In fact,
Good.
Bob Iger is lending us his Damien Hirst Mickey Mouse for this upcoming exhibition. So I just can't say enough good about how they have supported the museum and what we're doing, our educational efforts, which has really exploded in the last few years. We served something like 30,000 people, over 30,000 people through our educational programming, and also focusing on underrepresented communities. We did an exhibition last year of the art of kids in juvenile detention centers, and that was just so moving, and the impact that it made on some of these kids was just overwhelming. And we're doing another special exhibition this year with homeless children. We've partnered with 3 organizations in the Bay Area, and they're creating art which will be on display. And just the looks on their faces when they see their art in a real museum exhibition.
Wow.
It's so heartwarming.
Yeah.
So that's part of, we did one, our first one was adults with disabilities, and then we did one with adults suffering from memory disorders. And then next year we'll do one with veterans that will coincide with our major exhibition. So the educational programming and reaching underrepresented communities was extremely important to Diane, and then Ron, who succeeded her as president, as it is to me and our staff. It's just a focus of our efforts, and just getting the word out. And animation is such an incredible way to learn about a whole host of disciplines. I mean, you can be great at storytelling, maybe not so good at animating, but you're still a very important person in the process, or maybe special effects, or any different aspect of it. And so it's just wonderful to see those kids and adults respond to learning about animation and techniques and bringing art to life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, storytelling, the heroine's journey, 2D animation, graphic novels, cell animation. So you have the classic. It's incredible.
It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, you guys definitely are. I mean, it's hard to just not think of you as a resource center versus a museum. It really is.
That's what Diane wanted, actually. She wanted, and we're trying to build out public access, a platform that would allow more public access to our assets, so that it can be more learning and educational opportunities for people of all ages. That was very important to Diane.
Yeah, well, it's you guys are doing a bang-up job with that for sure. Do you have a favorite piece in the museum?
Ooh, it's like choosing between children.
I have a favorite child.
I think what impacts me a lot is the high level of artistry. All of these artists who are behind these films, the art that they create for these films. We have Gustav Tengren, we have Ivan Earl, Mary Blair, Tyrus Wong. And when you see the art and realize how many gorgeous pieces are created for one animated feature, it blows me away. Just the amount of effort that goes into it, and it really is fine art. And I think that's a very high impact component of the museum.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. There's a wall. I forget exactly where in one of the galleries it is, but it's covered with one of the cell by cell, frame by frame, I guess, of a Mickey, like one of the early Mickey shorts. I forget which one it is. And you look at the wall, and it's, every page equals, a fraction of a second, right? 24 or whatever. Yeah. And you look at it and you're like, there has to be just duplicate. Like this can't be. This is an actual like section of animation blown out into frame by frame.
Yeah.
And it sort of gives you a sense of how much actual work. It's not just story and design and make sure it happens and advertising and whatever. It's the tedious artwork of drawing by hand and then moving everything a fraction, but keeping
Basically
everything else
the same thing.
The same, yeah, over and over again, but slightly. It's mind blowing.
Right, and 350 frames equals 15 seconds of animation, which really, and that wall is brilliant.
Yeah.
Because it gives you a very illustrative view into how arduous this art form is.
Yeah.
So everything in the museum impressed me. Everything. But there was one thing that made me stop in my tracks and not want to leave.
And that's the French onion chicken
The
sandwich.
French onion chicken sandwich at the
Oh my gosh, you're ridiculous.
No, it was
That sounds amazing.
the Disneyland model.
Oh yes, let's talk about the Disneyland model.
So it was fantastic. Now,
Right.
so I was trying to see if there was an actual time period that the model represented, and correct me if I'm wrong. To the best of my ability, it looked like it was everything that Walt, quote unquote, touched. So anything that he was involved in with the development of, so either what was there when it opened up to the point of his death, and even things that opened after his death when he was involved in the development of that attraction. Is that correct?
That's right. So he passed away in December 1966, and so it goes through 68, which was the last attraction that he had a hand in that was that finally went live. So yeah, that model was actually built by the same model makers who make the model for Star Wars.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and interestingly, that took a year to construct, which is the same amount of time it took to construct Disneyland.
That's crazy. That's insane.
That's pretty good. I like that.
You know what? If I could make a
Yeah,
couple
and
of...
when marijuana was legalized in California recently, that model was voted the #1 place to come while stoned in San Francisco.
No, stop it!
You've got to be kidding me.
By what? How did that?
It's an honor.
How did that vote happen? Was it like High Times or what?
I love every
What's
part
that?
of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh God, I'm gonna track that story down because I really, I appreciate that because first of all, for those of you who don't know, it's in the Presidio, which is a beautiful area.
Yes.
Lots of greenery, lots of trees, lots of grass, especially right across from the museum. It's gorgeous. Great view of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of the trees and stuff in the background. I could definitely see going into the parking lot, bringing your Frisbee or whatever.
With those huge chairs they had out there too.
Yeah.
They had,
imbibe in the local, spices, if you will, like
Ganja,
Dune, I guess, and then hit the museum. I mean,
Hippie cabin.
We do need to go back and check that place out.
Yeah,
We really do.
the only thing is that it's federal property, so it's, marijuana is not actually legal in the Presidio.
Oh, I did not know that.
Because isn't that it's a
Federal property.
property, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, what are you
Nobody
gonna do?
knows that. I mean,
Yeah, it's actually a national park. Yeah.
Well, look, you know what? If it's ever federally legalized, I could see you have an audio tour, and you get handed like a thing, and then you get handed a vape pen, and you just go, and that's the new
nobody
tour.
would ever think it's so beautiful.
How did we get here?
I don't know. It's Kirsten's fault, not mine. I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. What were you gonna say, Terrence? Were you gonna say something?
No, Beverly is.
Okay.
I was gonna ask Terrence because I can't remember what part you were talking about, but what was the part that made you cry?
Oh, good Lord. Who
goodness
knows?
gracious.
It was probably going to the restroom.
No,
Because it was so clean.
No,
and
it
it
was-
was like, oh my God, it's beautiful.
I'll tell you.
Terrence is very emotional,
He is
man.
very emotional.
He's very in touch with his feelings, which is fine, but he cries at literally everything.
This is what happened.
Budweiser commercials.
Yeah, I know.
The horses are so pretty.
Yeah.
Love Club
Cookie
Sales.
Crisp commercials. That dog never gets it.
So, what moved me to tears was it really, the whole museum felt like you were sitting down with Diane, and she just basically pulled out a book, an old picture book, and she's taking you through her father's life.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to the point where it's the height of his career, the triumph. Disneyland is open. It's doing well. Things are blossoming. You're looking at the audio animatronics of the Tiki Room, and you're doing all of that, and you're just right at the top of his life. Like, nothing can go wrong, and then you round the corner, and you see that old TV with the news broadcast that Walt had passed away.
Oh yeah, that
And
was it.
the way it happened, the way it played out, it was, I mean, it just, my heartstrings were playing like a harp at that point. Like, I mean, it was absolutely amazing. But I think that goes back to what the museum is. It is a story. It's not just a collection of artifacts. It's a story, and it takes you through the entirety of his life, like you said, the ups and downs, and it just holds your attention the entire way. Like, we left out of the museum, and I wanted to go back in again and go walk around again to see what I missed. So yeah, that's when I cried. Like, I actually had a tear. I think Nick
Dropped to one knee and openly wept.
I think Nick actually got it on film of
Oh my
me
goodness.
crying a little bit. Yeah.
Does that sound plausible, Kirsten? Have you ever heard that, or is it a common theme for people to be
Much. Well,
touched that much?
Yeah, we actually thought about having a box of Kleenex in that gallery because people are very moved by that. But Diane didn't want it to end on a sad note. So the final gallery is a reflection in the one with the curved glass walls with all of the images about Walt's life and his family and his work and beautiful classical music playing. And so, and that gallery actually has won awards.
Oh, wow.
Because it's difficult actually to construct that curved glass and get the imagery right. So, but she wanted people to walk away inspired, and I think she achieved it.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. Kirsten, we're going to wrap things up here a little bit, and we'll let you go. But we do have, for all of our guests, we have a set of 7 questions that we ask. It's sort of like inside the actor studio, if you wouldn't mind. Just like quick 1 or 2 word answers, the first thing that comes to your mind whenever we ask the question. It's very easy. It's nothing like what's your social security number or anything like that.
You can tell us if you want to.
Yeah, that's right. Is that okay? You want to play along
No,
real fast?
That's fine.
All right, cool. Here we go. What's your favorite Disney attraction?
It's a small world.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I do like It's a Small World. It's very complicated. I was thinking about that actually earlier today. It's a complex thing to pull off story-wise.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Terrence.
Okay.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay. You say so.
What's your least favorite Disney attraction?
Oh, no. None.
Are you a
Well,
Disneyland fan? Do you go to the parks? I should ask that question first.
I am a fan. I'd say I'm first a fan of Walt because I just find him absolutely, I can't get enough inspiration from his story.
Yeah.
But Disneyland really has so much of Walt in it. You can really feel him there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I'll give you a pass. She is a lawyer. Look at that.
I told you.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing this.
Bro.
I'm not doing this one. Go ahead. Pie-eyed Mickey or round-eyed Mickey? Which do you prefer?
I'm sorry?
Pie-eyed Mickey?
I didn't catch that.
Oh, yeah, pie-eyed or round-eyed. So that's what I guess I call them, but it's either
Round-eyed.
round-eyed. Okay, yeah, you know what I'm talking about then.
Round-eyed, yeah.
What old ride should they bring back to the parks? This is a tricky one. This stumps a lot of people.
Yeah.
This is a tricky one. I don't really want to comment on their decisions because they're just so great to us. So I think they make the right decisions. Star Wars Land is going to be incredible. You to move forward, and Walt understood this. You got to give things up in order to move forward.
It's true.
And so, yeah, I
That's
think I'm
perfect.
in this business for a reason.
Perfect.
Man, that's okay. Look, normally I would harass you a little bit, but that's a good answer. I like the deflection. I appreciate it.
That's the correct answer. in
That's the
your
correct
position.
answer. Yeah, for
Very
sure.
good.
I'll skip the next one, which is what current ride should they remove, because most of our guests are a little bit more jaded. How about this one? Who's your favorite Disney character?
Jiminy Cricket.
Nice.
Wow, I think that
that's
is
the
new.
First time.
First time.
That's the first time with that
Good
one.
call.
Good
Good
call. And here's the last one. It's very easy. Well, I mean, depending. If you could travel back in time and meet Walt, what would you tell him?
What would I tell him?
Yeah.
Yes.
What would I tell him? I would just thank him for impacting the world in the way he has. I mean, his lasting influence and his characters, and Mickey. How many people has Mickey helped in a dark time and made them laugh? And he was an incredible genius and a nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good answer.
That's I appreciate that. Kirsten, thank you so much. Everyone go to waltdisney.org to learn all about the Walt Disney Family Museum. And if you're going to be in town, let's see, I have the dates here, from May 16th to January 6th, 2020. You got a lot of time.
Nice long.
You check out Mickey Mouse from Walt to the World, a celebration of animation's most beloved and recognizable character. The exhibition chronicles Mickey's impact and influence on art and entertainment over the past 9 decades, which is, it's incredible.
Insane.
And tells the story of his origin, rise to fame, and enduring worldwide appeal, of course. Guest curated by legendary animator Andres Deja. Mickey Mouse from Walt to the World. Kirsten, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys. And come anytime. I look forward to seeing you on the 15th.
Absolutely. I'll be sure to find you.
Okay,
All right.
great.
Thank you.
Have a nice night. Thanks
You
for
too.
having me.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
That was cool.
That was
good.
so
Yeah,
cool.
I liked it. I got distracted in the first part because the audio was kind of weird, and so I had to
Yeah.
sit and futz with the knobs, and
Yeah.
so she stopped talking. I was like, oh shoot, I didn't hear, because I get sidetracked. This is why radio shows, like real radio shows, have engineers.
Have
Yes.
somebody else
And
run
they
the
do
board.
all of this, right? So
Exactly. Probably
anyway.
take some of the money from. Never mind, I was
Oh,
gonna say we didn't get one. Yeah.
Yeah, we're broke. Anyway, Kirsten, thank you again. I'm looking at her bio. She grew up studying violin, modern dance. She has a BA in Italian from Berkeley.
Crazy.
Yeah.
A JD, which I guess is junior doctorate.
Doctorate, I think.
Yeah. She was on the board for Tyco Toys.
Yeah.
Remember Tyco? That's just, I mean,
I
smart person.
I meant to
And she
ask-
came on this show where we bash everything possible because of my terrible negativity.
I did mean to ask her how she got involved.
You want me to call her back?
No.
I'll just give you the phone number. It's 952
Great. I'll just call her and be
78.
Hey,
Yeah.
I forgot to ask you how you got involved in the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah. No, what did you want to ask?
Just how she got involved. I
okay,
might
yeah.
have missed that.
Yeah.
Just because her resume is glorious, so I'm curious.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, that was a good time. So I'll be there on the 15th. A little press preview. You know what I'm trying to say. But, that's the way we do it here on Ears Up Podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You live it. But it should be pretty cool. And then so I think we can kind of get a one-on-one interview with Andres, the animator.
Nice.
So I'm going to try to do that, bring a little audio back for the show, maybe get him on as his own, segment or whatever. But it's Mickey Mouse from Walt to the World is going to have over 400 things, objects, right? Rare, never before seen original sketches, character model sheets, concept artwork, nostalgic merchandise. Anyway, this is the thing to do. Plan your vacation. Come up here. Come out here, come down here, wherever you
Come
are.
over here.
This is the
awesome.
thing to do, man. Yeah, this is definitely the thing to do.
Also, apparently,
Yes.
JD stands for Juris Doctor. which is her law degree.
Not junior doctor.
I thought it was like junior doctorate. I don't know why. And thank you for telling me that, because now I feel like a complete moron, because I've never heard of a junior doctorate in my entire life.
I've never heard of either one.
That's actually what that's what Doogie Howser had. He had a
junior doctorate
because he was little. So.
I get it. That's true.
Oh, we smart.
Yeah, we're dumb as hell, dude.
SMRT.
Whatever. Kids, look, man. Never just assume you're right.
Go to college. Maybe you can get a junior doctorate.
I don't know. Whatever, dude. It's fine. You guys want to do some news?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, this is how dumb I feel. Well, never mind. I'm not even gonna, it's not even worth talking about.
You can't do that.
I can do whatever I want to do. Do you want to know why?
Whatever.
Because I have
You're
the
just gonna
volume
play music
controls.
over me.
March in the past, present, and future with all the news that's fit to cover. It's the Ears Up Disney News.
Bonk. All right. First of all, breaking news. Star Wars actor Peter Mayhew has passed away at age 74. Yes, Terrence.
Rest in peace. No, I was just.
Oh, big yeah! Shouts out to the big homie, dude.
However you do it.
Yeah. Actually, he passed away on April 30th, but the news just kind of hit today. Yeah. Okay. Mayhew's family took to the actor's Twitter account to announce the news of his death. I probably should let me pop this music down, this fun time music, while we're talking about this guy who died.
The guy who passed away.
Yeah. In other news, cholera is making a huge comeback, and everybody probably has tuberculosis. It's like that old Steve Martin bit where like nobody can be sad when you're playing the banjo. Yeah. It's like, and in other news, impending doom. Shouts out to Steve Martin. That's who I want to interview.
That's
Steve Martin.
That's
I love Steve Martin
just
so
wanna
much.
meet him.
Man, his
Give him a hug.
his autobiography is called Born Standing Up. If you're into autobiographies,
very good.
I think we've talked about it on the show before. Read it.
Yeah, it's great.
And tell me you didn't cry. I shed tears at that book. It was.
He's an amazing man.
It was great. I'm not crying. I'm wiping my eye. It's fine. Anyway.
And also,
yes,
for all you kids out there, The Jerk is a way better.
I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay, I'm talking to the
Oh.
I love Dumb and Dumber. If you love Dumb and Dumber, watch The Jerk because it's 15 times better.
All I need
So
in
great.
life
Yeah.
is this chair.
The family of Peter Mayhew, with great love and sadness, regrets to share the news that Peter has passed away. The tweet reads, the post also discusses the last time Mayhew played Chewbacca in J.J. Abrams' The Force Awakens, and what a challenge it was for the actor. He fought his way back from being wheelchair-bound to stand tall and portray Chewbacca one last time. And Peter Mayhew was one of those dudes, like, at all the Star Wars conventions and whatever, to actually, like, go. And he loved... What's up, Terrence? Look like someone farted.
No, it's
you have
amazing.
a screw face. You got your screw face on. Your gas face. No?
It's amazing that he did that. He was wheelchair bound and fought back to be able to play that play that character one more time.
Yeah, I agree. He's survived by his wife, Angie, and his 3 children. He spent his final years in Arlington, Texas, after becoming a naturalized citizen in 2005. Due to his height, an impressive 7 feet 2 inches, he underwent a double knee replacement surgery in 2013, but unfortunately, they ended up switching his legs, so his left foot was on his right foot, and his right foot was on his left foot, but yet he endured
I was like,
and
oh my
continues to soldier on.
I thought you meant they did the knees backwards, like they put the wrong knee in the
Can
wrong
you imagine?
Like a flamingo.
It's like,
Regardless, I hate that I am so gullible that I believe what you just said.
oh man. Anyway, R.I.P. to the real homie, dude. Like, I know he was just in a suit, but you watch those movies, and there's so much personality coming through.
Yeah.
And Chewbacca would not be as lovable as he was without the actor in the suit. So that's some sad news, but I guess we all go. You know what I mean?
Eventually.
Here's some big news. Here are all of the box office records that Avengers Endgame has broken this past weekend.
It just came out.
Yeah, it dominated, dude.
Yeah, but it's like the final of the thing, so it's gonna be big.
It's also like what happens now. Like, what are they going to do now?
Right.
Because all of these other standalone movies and origin story movies were to get to the Avengers, to get to this point.
Right.
And then now what? I don't know. Is anybody going to care about an Iron Man 4 or an Ant-Man 3 or something like that?
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so either. But I'm completely wrong about I just don't vibe with it. Taryn and I are rewatching we're watching all the movies now. We're going back. We're watching them all. We just finished Iron Man 3 last night.
Okay.
It's taken us 2 weeks to watch like 5 movies or whatever because it's what you do when you got a kid. But I don't know. I would have totally misunderestimated if I was on that board. Like misunderestimated. Sure, dude.
That's a word.
Yeah. The popularity, because I just don't like them. I mean, Iron Man is the best one, but like Thor was fine.
Yeah.
I just don't really care about him.
I don't think that I've seen a single movie in any of the I know for a fact I've never seen any of the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen any of the standalone movies.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I just got a text from Taryn. Sorry, she's never going to sleep.
Aw, poor Taryn.
Yeah. Oh, man, I'm sorry, but we're here having a great time without you regardless. I just voice texted her. I'm not going to send that, don't worry.
Thank you.
I'm just going to delete it to, oh, man, I'm sorry.
And then also what they're going to do is they're going to start making the standalone movies for Fantastic Four and more X-Men stuff, and they're going to start going in that direction because now they have more Deadpool stuff. They have the rights to all that stuff. They're going to go in that direction.
I'm disappointed we're broadcasting right now and the Sharks game is on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just wanting to tell you right now. It's still 0-0. Yeah, it's 0-0. Sorry, I had to do it. Here we go. Avengers Endgame has been astronomical in its first 3 days, setting records in the U.S., China, and a variety of overseas markets. These are some of the records the superhero tentpole, which I feel is very inappropriate, is destroying on its first weekend at the box office. The biggest China opening day set the record on April 24th for the biggest opening day and the biggest single day in Chinese history with $107.2 million.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, sometimes that's like a movie's whole like
entire take for 5 years.
Like, that's their whole thing.
Yeah. International record breaker. It became the biggest single day performer in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, the Philippines, Korea, the UK, Brazil, Egypt, Panama, Peru, Colombia, Argentina, Chile, Bolivia, Paraguay, Trinidad, and Uruguay.
That's 19
insane.
countries.
Oh, good.
I just counted while you were doing it.
I was just more impressed with how I didn't stumble on it.
You did great.
Really great. It also registered the top opening day in Indonesia, Malaysia, Netherlands, Greece. There you go, Greece. Portugal, Slovakia, Turkey, and Ukraine. So, I mean, just ruined the box offices. It was pretty crazy. Thursday preview record in the U.S. Avengers Endgame set a record for top Thursday preview gross at $60 million.
Jeez.
So that's all the people who went to like the midnight.
Yeah.
Beating the 2015 record of Star Wars The Force Awakens at $57 million. Domestic weekend record. Disney projected on Friday afternoon that Avengers Endgame would finish the domestic opening weekend at about $300 million, demolishing last year's record set by Avengers Infinity War with $257.7 million. Most screens for one film. It set a record by showing at 4,662 North American locations.
Holy crap.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, dude. And then these are some of the records that Avengers Endgame has a good shot at breaking. Top market share, they say. The fourth Avengers movie has a good shot at taking the title for top market share for an opening weekend among films that opened at more than $150 million. That distinction is currently held by Avengers Age of Ultron. This is really boring. All right, the rest of that's really boring. But, man, what a juggernaut, dude.
I know.
I can hear Alice crying. I feel so bad,
the
dude.
cat just went out and the door opened a little more.
Yeah, I feel so bad. Oh, well. Can't do anything about it now. Feel the Force at Disneyland Resort with special May the 4th celebration. Bration.
Also, why didn't they do...
I did that. That wasn't reverb. That wasn't a special effect. That was me. That's me honing my craft.
You did great.
And practicing my craft. The craft of my voice.
Like KRAFT.
Celebration. My Max headroom. Go ahead. Praise me, Terrence.
No, I wasn't. I was really surprised that they didn't do the online reservations for Galaxy's Edge. on May the 4th. Like, I was really surprised they chose May the 2nd for some reason.
I mean, that's a good point. Yeah. That'd be some good, cross marketing there. But with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opening on May 31st at Disneyland, you'll have an opportunity. I don't know why I feel like every time I read the Disney Parks blogs, I have to go in cheesy radio voice.
Because that's how they're written.
You'll have an opportunity to travel to a galaxy far, far away to live out your own Star Wars adventure.
Enter.
This May the 4th, special celebrations are happening in Tomorrowland at Disneyland Park, including limited-time food, beverage, and merchandise offerings. You can jump to Lightspeed with the return of Hyperspace Mountain, which I've never been a fan of, but it's fine. Whatever. I'm trying to be more zen about it. That's, of course, the overlay to Space Mountain. You can meet Captain Phasma and a small legion of stormtroopers in Tomorrowland in the Force in March of the First Order. Oh, incredible display of the Force in something called March of the First Order. There you go. Whether you're a supporter of the First Order or Resistance, grab a friend and snap a picture at special photo opportunity inside the Starcade. Galactic Grill and Alien Pizza Planet are serving up Star Wars-inspired snacks that are out of this world. You get it, guys? Because it's not, I get it. Grab a dark side chicken sandwich. Dark side, is it dark meat? If it's not thighs only, I don't want it.
That's true. Or Cajun.
Right. Or outer rim pasta.
Okay.
Right. Their names for this stuff.
It's something.
It blows me away. Mark the day with a novelty Stein, sipper, or popcorn bucket. Additional details on these delicious surprises and more will be shared later this week, and I'm sure, of course, you're going to have to brave lines to get all those souvenir sippers and blah, blah, blah.
Of course you are.
Anyway, so that's happening May 4th if you're into that whole thing, if you're going to be in the parks. Here's, again, trending with more Star Wars news. Mark Hamill, who is, of course, everybody knows, Darth Vader, reveals often wondered personal secret about Luke Skywalker. Oh, well, then how would he know about, if he's Darth Vader, how would he know about Luke Skywalker?
Because he's his father, duh.
Oh, God. I thought it was Yoda. Dude, so I'm on this website called MovieWeb. Super distraction. On the right-hand side, they have, other articles.
Right.
Jamie Foxx is one step closer to playing Mike Tyson in upcoming biopic. Yes! That is ultimate casting. I can't wait. I literally can't wait.
So after this, I want to.
I'm gonna read that.
But yes, but I also want to play you Jamie Foxx singing the national anthem at a boxing event.
I feel like I've heard this. It was a while ago, right?
It was like 5-6 years.
Yeah. I feel like I've heard that.
And I also definitely want to see a Mike Tyson movie.
Jamie Foxx, Mike Tyson movie. Who's gonna play Robin Givens?
Oh, I don't. Beyonce maybe.
I don't think that a character like Beyonce is going to get beat up by you, right?
Yeah. Who's going to play Don King?
Beyonce. I don't know. She got the hair.
It's true.
I don't know. Star Wars franchise star Mark Hamill is weighing in on the mystery surrounding Luke Skywalker's sex life, tweeting his belief that the Jedi Master did not die a virgin. Throughout the entire history of the movie franchise, Skywalker was never involved in an on-screen romantic relationship, leaving the status of his virginity unclear. The closest he came seems to be when he kissed his own sister, which fortunately didn't progress any further than that for the obvious reasons. Fans have apparently been debating this to the point where the question has made its way to Hamill on Twitter, which Mark Hamill's tight. If you're on Twitter, throw him a follow. He's really good. Sometimes he'll respond to fans, especially if they're cool questions, but he's very punny. That's a good follow for sure. So someone asked him on Twitter about it, and he had an interesting answer. He said, "Make up your own backstory." What Hamill said when he was asked directly if Luke died a virgin. It's undetermined, but in the one I made for him myself, the answer is no. I feel like I would make the same. Of course not. Are you kidding me?
Come on,
you
son.
think I would die a virgin? Me, Lucas Skywalker.
Lucas Skywalker.
I feel like Luke's got to be short, right?
Yeah,
It's got to be Luke or Lucacious or some sort of longer
Lucius.
word. Lucius.
Lucacious?
I don't know, man. But I also thought it was interesting that he just goes, make it up. Make it up on your own, which is part of the reason why I hate these backstory movies.
Yeah. I agree.
Because we now know all of this stuff that we were trying to make up on our own.
Yeah.
That's why Boba Fett was so cool. You know, he died in the Sarlacc pit. That's
Right.
what you're supposed to think. But, of course, they didn't want it because he's so badass. But he's such a badass because you don't know anything about him.
Exactly.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
Vader told him no disintegrations. That was it.
Yep.
Instantly. That made him a badass.
Yeah.
But although I will say that I'm looking forward to The Mandalorian. That'll be cool on Disney+. Let's see. Oops, that's not it. Let's go. You want to talk about Floyd Norman and his Dumbo crow scene defense?
No.
You don't want to talk about
I
that?
don't want to talk about that.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Go to Floyd Norman's blog. Just Google Floyd Norman blog because he defends defends Dumbo about the crow scene.
Yeah.
We'll just talk about that. Let's see. No thanks to that. You want to okay, we have two news stories. One's a serious one and one's a stupid one. Which do you want and which do you want to end on?
Stupid.
Obviously,
of
the
course.
stupid one.
You want to do that now or do you want to end with that?
Oh, end
too
with
serious one now and then stupid one to end.
Abigail Disney, whom I want to interview on the
that's a good
show.
name.
It's a good Oh, I get it because your kid's name's Abigail.
Right.
I got it. Abigail Disney calls on company to give 50% of executive bonuses to lowest paid employees.
That was amazing.
Right?
Good for her.
I agree, dude. Just days after calling the pay of Disney's top brass, quote, insane, the granddaughter of company co-founder Roy Disney wrote an opinion piece in the Washington Post in which she acknowledged that she, quote, struck a nerve with a Twitter thread about wage inequality at the Walt Disney Company. She says, quote, I believe that Disney could well lead the way, if its leaders so choose, to a more decent, humane way of doing business, she wrote in a piece published Tuesday. She proposes that the company put aside half of the bonuses its executives earn, distributing that to the bottom 10% of Disney's 200,000 employees.
I think that's a great idea.
And I don't think it's unreasonable. Like, they're not cutting
No.
their salary. This is extra money that they get.
That's her point too, right? She goes, not she, but the article goes, according to a regulatory filing, 6 of Disney's top executives, including Bob Iger, received stock awards and options worth a combined $62 million last year.
Stupid.
It really is. Bonuses. You're already making
That's
M-
on
tens
top
of
your
millions. Right,
salary.
right,
Yeah,
right.
That's ridiculous.
That doesn't include additional bonuses and potentially millions of dollars more earned by lower tier executives at the media and theme park conglomerate. This is Disney Abigail talking again. Besides, at the pay levels we're talking about, an executive giving up half of his bonus, not all of it, half of it, has zero effect on his quality of life, she writes. For the people at the bottom, it could mean a ticket out of poverty or debt. It could
Agreed.
offer access to decent health care or an education for a child.
or potentially not living in your car.
Right.
Well, and I mean, think about it. I mean, it's a nice little piece of change. You know, like if she's talking about the bottom 10% of 200,000 global employees, it's 20,000 people, $62 million. That's $3,100 each. That's a nice little bonus for someone who sweeps the parks all day.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah.
100%. She says, by any objective measure, a pay ratio over 1,000 is insane, she said of Iger's pay package, which amounts to $66 million, which is 1,424 times that of the median salary of a Disney employee of $46,127.
The median salary.
Yeah. There's a point at which there's just too much going on around the top of the system into this class of people who, I'm sorry, this is radical, have too much money, she said. But, you know, people online are like, well, Disneyland pays $15 an hour, and then they'll like they start paying for college and vocational skills, and they're doing better. But that's this year.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not company wide, and
Right.
those people still need help. $15 an hour in California, and we've said this on the show, right? And she says it later on in her piece. The parks are what brings in the money. The parks are what keeps people engaged with the brand. So you need to take care of them.
And it's
I
the
agree.
people running the park that make the experiences good for other people. And I'm stopping.
Okay. Okay. At a company that has never been more profitable, whose top executives drive home with 7- and 8-figure paychecks, and whose primary resource is the good-spirited, public-facing people who greet guests day after day, why are we dancing around a minimum wage anyway, she added.
And also, like, for the last 5 years, they've raised prices every year, and they're now increasing their capacity and building another park. Like, they're just bringing in more money. So where's the money going?
Yeah. Right, and so, Disney says in response that they've made historic investments in its workers' pay and benefits, including education initiatives that allow hourly employees the ability to learn a college or vocational degree completely free of charge. The company said it has upped the starting hourly salary at Disneyland to $15 and pledged as much as $150 million to the education effort. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not going to beat it to death because we've done that 700 times on the show, but I would really love to support a company that values their employees as much as friggin' In-N-Out.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Profit share. Like, I understand they can send you to college, but what if you're 55? What are you going to go to college for, right? I mean, come on. Or you're dumb, like me. I was terrible in college. I only got my AA at a junior college after my second junior college. Like, I don't do school well. Right. So if I'm working at Disneyland, what does that doesn't do anything for me. Right. So give me more money when I'm pulling people on and off Maters or Cars Land or whatever, right? Like, give me something else.
I completely agree with you.
I'm making sure that everybody else is happy. This is me, is my job. I want to participate in this, and studies obviously show that means that people are better at their job. Yeah. If they're getting paid more, if they feel more valuable.
You're absolutely right.
Anyway, all right, here's the dumb one. You ready?
Yes.
Disney's newest Cinderella pony makes debut at Walt Disney World Resort. Walt Disney World has announced a royal addition to Cinderella's royal family, Cinderella pony, and they named it Lily. So Cinderella ponies are the ponies that are hitched and pull the Cinderella stagecoach or whatever. Right. And they had a pony. That's what this is about. It's a little confusing. Lily is named after Walt Disney's wife, of course, and was born in March. Lily is also the first white Shetland pony ever born at the Tri-Circle D Ranch at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. Lily's parents are not just any horses either. They pulled Cinderella's iconic pumpkin coach for Disney's fairy tale weddings and parades at the Magic Kingdom. The Disney Parks blog say when Lily turns 2, she'll begin training to pull Cinderella's magical coach and then could make her debut as part of the team a year later. Taryn says, I'm not coming down. I don't feel well, and I don't really want to join the show anymore.
Ow.
Yeah,
she's frustrated.
She's frustrated, and I get it. I mean, Alice has been in bed for an hour and a half now.
Yeah.
So this is the entire show. And that sucks, man. That definitely sucks.
I'm sorry, Jaron.
What are you going to do? A team of 35 ranch hands care for Lily and 90 other horses across the Walt Disney World Resort. That's cool. Yeah. So anyway, if you're in Disney World, apparently they pull this pony out and kind of show it around, which is, that's cool.
Nice.
I guess.
It's just a pony.
It's just a horse, bruh.
Is it just because it's a white pony?
I guess. I don't know, man.
White privilege.
Bro.
Joking.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a privileged life to lead to pull a cart full of people. I don't know. Man, I don't know if I told you, but for Alice's birthday, it was Donald Duck themed. Mm-hmm. Did we go over this on the show, on the pod?
I don't think so.
I mean, there's nothing really to go over, but Taryn made these invitations that were sort of blown out to look like a deconstructed Donald Duck. It was very cute. Mm-hmm. And like we did with our wedding invitations, you can send invitations for your kid's first birthday to, all sorts of fictional people, right?
Right.
Well, I was like, well, let's just send one to Donald Duck. I think that'd be pretty cute. Mm-hmm. See if we get anything back. That'd be fun.
Right.
So we sent the invitation to Donald. I wrote like a note. I typed it up because, no one can read my caveman chicken scratches. Let's see. There's a stick figure with what looks like a spear, and then there's a sun.
Maybe is that a babe? Is that a little stick figure?
Yeah, I think the 2 squiggly lines represents your heart chakra. I don't know. But I had this 8x10. I don't know why we got it so big, of that photo of Alice and Donald, like at her first time meeting, right? And I had her like pretend to sign it. And it was like kind of scribbles and stuff. And I wrote to Donald on it. I thought it was really cute.
Yeah.
So I put it in there and I was like, hey, here's a photo. She really is like your number one fan. And this is all true. And, it'd be cool. I understand if you can't make it, but it'd be really cool if you come to the party. Nothing.
Really?
Nothing. Not even a, hey, sorry, I can't, you know what I mean? Not even a stupid ass. No, I shouldn't say stupid ass, but a stupid ass thing. Nothing. Not even a pin or an acknowledgement letter.
That's surprising.
Yeah, and I haven't said anything now yet because she doesn't know, and what am I going to get offended for her? She doesn't know.
Right.
But I'm kind of offended for myself because I put in the time and I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
And those are kind of the experiences that a good customer service person or someone working at the fan club department or whatever I send it to, that's what you look for, man,
Right.
as like being in those jobs, not like my kid's 5th birthday. Here's a hand-signed photo. I gave you a photo. You
Right,
can't do anything.
Meanwhile, that picture's going to show up in their advertising.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. It just kind of bummed me out.
I get that.
I thought I'd share that with you.
Okay.
Yeah. I keep meaning to bring it up, and what else, man? Let me try to find that feedback now that we got time, and I'll cut out in sort of pauses.
I'm going to continue to shop on Magic Candle Company.
Are you doing that?
Oh, yeah. I'm buying because like I said, I have 2 of those wax warmers that I never use.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy me some freaking churro pirate life.
All right. All right.
Sounds good. I think I need to go on there later. I need to get the car freshener ones. My car smelled like Chick-fil-A today.
What-
I wanted it to smell like
Did-
churros.
What is Floridian? I wonder what that smells like. Swamp?
Maybe see, and I haven't talked to them to be how
Like,
specific.
To clear about what you can say.
There is a hotel
A
in
big
Florida
hotel. A
called
big hotel.
the
Yeah.
Floridian. It's in
Did
the
it have a smell?
Well, if I remember correctly, maybe it was like lilies or something, like flower. I don't remember at all. But anyway, did we read this post last time? Who was here? Were you both here last time?
I was not.
I was here.
About from Becky, and that she thought I was really grumpy.
No.
Okay, so this is the feedback we got. This is from Becky. She says, "Hi, Ears Up crew. I love you all, but this message is especially for Jason." Let me pop my collar here for a second.
Yeah.
All right. Don't worry about it, everybody. I get fan mail. I started listening 4 years ago before my last Disneyland vacation, and then I took a break for 3 years. I'll try not to do that again. Wow. Yeah, don't take breaks on us, Becky. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Come on. It's rude. In anticipation for our upcoming Disneyland trip in 40 days, I'm catching up on old pods. I shortened it to pod. That's my thing now. I
Thank
don't know.
goodness you did that and she didn't.
I finally made it through to 2018. Welcome to last year. I enjoy all of your personalities, and I think that if we ever met in real life, we'd have lots to talk about. That is true. I pretty much won't shut up. However, Jason has been the one that it's been hard to figure out. I feel like Taryn wrote this.
Right?
I don't really know him. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy him very much, but he comes across as a little bit grumpy, parentheses, in a sweet way.
Okay.
So I thought it was pretty tight.
Okay.
Curmudgeon-y is a good word.
I like grumpy in a sweet way, personally. It's way better than curmudgeon-y. You know what I mean? However, once I listened to the favorite Disney movie episode from June 2017, I instantly felt connected to Jason. Jason shared his love of Robin Hood, which is my probably favorite Disney
That
movie.
is your
Great
jam,
movie,
yeah.
It's so good. And I was pleasantly surprised because I totally agree with him. I love it when people are surprised that they agree with me. It kind of honest, like, I swear to God, it honestly makes me feel good. Where it's like, yeah, see, there you go.
It happens to me all the time.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't happen to me very often.
Yeah.
Because everyone goes, I thought you were just kind of weird, but I agree with you.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It happens to me all the time that
No.
I'm surprised I agree with you.
Oh, I don't agree with you. It doesn't happen all the time. Anyway, Robin Hood is my favorite childhood Disney movie. We taped it off of the wonderful Walt Disney. Same with us.
Nice.
And I watched that thing over and over until the VCR wore that tape out. I think I might still have that tape, actually,
Nice.
too. Just for nostalgia purposes, because I don't have the VCR. I can never program them. People never know what I'm talking about when I say I love Disney's Robin Hood, the one with the foxes. They just look at me strangely. I've also decided that you are really a cat person. That's true. I couldn't always tell if you were being facetious or not. Cat people are good people, in my opinion. Look forward to being caught up soon on all the fun that I've missed. Keep up the great work. From Becky.
Thanks,
Thank you, Becky. It's very nice of you to write all that stuff in. I appreciate it very much. Okay, so we're going to get out of here, I think. We don't have really anything else to talk about. Right? We should have
Right.
to do our closings. So for you live listeners, if you want to listen live again, we're going to be recording on the 30th.
Yes.
We're going to skip the 16th. So Maddie, if you're listening out there somewhere, sorry. I'll make that change soon. Do we even have a show? Yes, we do. It's going to be the history of the Tahitian Terrace.
Yes.
in Disneyland. So it'll be a cool show if you like that whole kind of vibe. And we're also going to be doing a secret show.
Yes, we will.
So if you want to get caught up on secret shows, or if you don't know what a secret show is, go to patreon.com/earsup. Please give us your money. And join Patreon, and you get a $5 level or more, and you get access to the secret show. It's really a great way to learn more about us and yourself.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's
We do Disney news. I thought about adding another show where it's just me, because I can do it. It's easier to just have it with me, and just in here talking about Disney news. But I realize that's all we kind of do. Like, you guys listen to me read the news and you go, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then we move on to the next story.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, and then the secret show, we do that. And it's like, I feel like it would be really boring, but I kind of want to like create another show. I'm talking with 3 people.
Okay.
About they are planning a whole show. I wouldn't say it's Disney World based. It's a little bit of both. It's going to be good.
That's good.
So it's still happening. We're still going to get another show from somebody.
Okay.
So look forward to more content here. Being a Patreon supporter really does help. So please, if you guys are listening to the show for free, we will come to your house and we will end you. It's my Bane. Hello, Batman. I am Bane.
You don't.
Don't sound
like
Bane.
Bane.
Man, can I tell you guys a story real fast about Bane? Like, it's like sort of Bane related, but not really.
Also, you sounded like Goldmember from Austin Powers. That's what you sounded like.
I don't know.
Go.
I love I've never seen Goldmember.
Oh,
man.
But you've seen The Love Guru.
The Love Guru
66
seriously
times.
rules, dude. I swear to God. You know what I want to? This is what I want to do. I want to find a way to buy The Love Guru in bulk and give it away as like a Patreon reward.
Go to Costco. You have to buy like 20 of them at a time.
I would do it. I swear to God that everybody should watch that movie. Yes.
It is Ears Up, all capitals, for Magic Candle Company.
Okay. Or you can go to the discount URL that I've talked about. But yeah. Okay. But that's good to know. That's just the discount. So I went to this tiki bar in Oakland called Con Tiki with my friend.
Oh, yeah.
And then between that and the BART station, first of all, it's like 12 stories here, and I'll try to not be really boring about it. And between Kon-Tiki and the BART station, there's a hip hop club.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called, but as we were passing it, everyone was dressed up for the club.
Okay.
Out in the thing. So I'm like,
Yeah.
This is interesting. And as we're walking by, something's still going on in the club, but not really. Sort of. It's like that kind of weird twilight of like. The set's probably over,
Right.
and so there's people outside, but there's people still inside waiting. Whatever. It's
Right.
kind of that weird, awkward point that happens after a show.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're walking up, I'm like, first of all, I think we should move over to the other side of the street
Right.
because the street was so blocked off. And all I know about clubs, hip hop clubs, is from what I hear about in rap songs.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, I don't want to be a part of it, but
who's getting shot?
right. So I'm like, it's fine. I'm just being paranoid. It's fine, whatever. So when we hit the corner, I see a guy walk by me, no shirt on at all, right? But pants, underwear,
Okay.
bulletproof vest.
What?
And I'm like, I need to get out of here. But at that point, we're already across the street. And so there was a mob of people. I feel like Tim Roth in Reservoir Dogs. They were looking at me. It was clear they were looking at me. And so it was, my friend Brad, our bartender Brad from the 5th anniversary.
Right.
Brad.
Yeah.
Right.
We should, not that it's not a bad name. I'm not saying any of that, but it's just there was a time when people are probably very, ready to party, right?
Yes.
And so we're approaching the club, and there's a second kid. No shirt on, holding his shirt, in fact, in his hand, white bulletproof vest on.
What in the? Was it 50 Cent? Like,
it was Plies,
I don't know what that means.
Pliez, and then the baby, not little baby or baby, but it's the baby. It's just I've heard of them. They're they're not very small.
PL.
IES,
Like pies, but with an L.
like Plies, yeah, or like Plies. And then as we pass him, there's a third kid, bulletproof vest on. And I'm like, we need to get out of here, because what do they know that I don't know? And that's all I'm thinking about, right? I'm not honestly, I'm not worried about getting assaulted or whatever, but what do they know that I don't know?
Right.
I don't have a bulletproof vest on, and I've never been around anybody who has a bulletproof vest that I know about, except for like my cop nephew or whatever. But I don't want to find out why they have it on.
I mean, was it like themed?
Oh,
you never found out? I
Theme.
don't know.
Excuse me, sir.
What theme is it today? Let me know when it's Steampunk Saturdays, and I'll. No, it's
I
just.
feel like that's not an irrational question.
It's not irrational, but it's not a good question.
100% never ask that question.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, if you see someone in a bulletproof vest, or were with me, and I start running, just run with me.
Oh,
and when
100%.
we stop, I'll tell you why we were running. Okay.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It was weird, man. It was, but the vibe outside was kind of chill. Like nobody was arguing, or there weren't any loud voices or whatever. So I'm assuming it was just for fashion.
Okay.
But I'm making this assessment as we rounded the corner, and then
Theme.
sure, and then we were looking for just like a bar to get a final drink, and we walked by this place. I'm like, oh, they have a bar in here. It's just a small, club or whatever, and you can hear music playing. And
right.
So Brad, so we walk in, and we were standing at the bar. And I'm like, oh, this is like a lot of weird lighting. And then I noticed that there's a back room, and then there's like a weird corridor wall. And on the top of the wall, they're broadcasting, or they're showing a projection of a camera's view of what's happening in the other room. It's a stage, and there's a presentation or whatever, and it was a drag queen contest.
Oh.
We
okay.
just kind of ended up in a gay bar together. And I'm like, this is not the first time I've accidentally ended up in a gay bar.
You and me both, buddy.
And you know what? And we got a cider and a shot of Fireball, and you put the Fireball in the cider, and then you go to Bart. And it was just, I don't know, man. It was a strange night.
That's a weird night, dude.
That's not a weird night, but that's Oakland. That's that area, I guess, where it's like Broadway and like 19.
Oh, that is a weird
It's a
spot.
weird area. It's kind of changing, sort of, but not really. And it's just, and then, so we're standing there, and like 3 drag queens come out. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with it. It was weird, right? I want to be very clear. I didn't feel awkward because I'm uncomfortable. I'm not around that, and I didn't expect it. That's the other thing, where it's like, this is really weird, man. And this one guy's talking to another person, and I go, oh, excuse me. And like, he goes, hey, man. And like, didn't look at me, but he like held his hand up, do like the bro kind of like slap. Yeah. And I was like, hey, what's up? And like gave me a hug. I'm like, okay, I feel really great right now, man.
Nice.
It was cool. It was one of those places.
Okay.
All right. Are we done?
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
When did you go? When did you see the bulletproof vests?
I don't know, last week.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Because 2 men in bulletproof vests were arrested for shooting each other in Oakland.
When?
April 2nd. April 3rd.
It was not April 3rd. It was like, I think last week, literally.
I mean, I Googled Kevlar vest party Oakland just to
Kevlar vest party.
see if anything came up, but
I believe it's Kanye West.
But God, if you guys saw my Google search history,
I have a feeling it's like Taryn's.
I Google everything like a
5-year-old.
That's a weird thought.
You Google everything like a 5-year-old. Yeah. Jiminy Christmas.
Some things you don't need answers to.
I need answers to everything. I want to know. Did the guy in the white bulletproof vest, did he have a shirt on, or was he?
No, and literally nobody had a shirt on.
Maybe he was like a stage dancer. Maybe that was like a costume.
Yeah, thank you very much to Kirsten Komoroske, who is the executive director of the Walt Disney Family Museum in San Francisco. Go to waltdisney.org to learn more about that fabulous place. We love it. Going there on the 15th again. We'll definitely be heading there more and kind of bringing you more content from the Walt Disney Family Museum. They're good people out there, and doing good stuff. Again, thanks to getawaytoday.com for sponsoring today's episode. Whether you're traveling to Disneyland, Disney World, or beyond, head over to getawaytoday.com/earsup. And don't forget to ask for the 21st Amendment beers wherever you find good craft beer like DCA. All right, everybody, we are taking off. We're going to be back on the 30th of this month with 2 shows, History of Tahitian Terrace and a secret show. Yep. So hit up patreon.com/earsup. Become a Patreon supporter. Love us. Don't forget about us. I don't know. Don't you Forget about it.